Alright guys, so this is the second part of that assignment 97 and 98 video. As you guys can see, this is our problem. 3x squared minus 4x plus 1. Remember, we're going to be using our 8 steps when it comes to using the x method. You guys will find these steps later. We're going to put them on the Algebra 1 course section as steps for using the x method, and you guys can print them out if you like, and that way you guys can follow step by step. Okay, so for now, step number one says find the GCF, if any. Again, if we're looking at A, B, and C here, we're trying to find out if there is a number besides 1 that goes into 3, 4, and 1. The answer is no. So automatically we're going to step number 2, which is substitute A, B, and C from your quadratic expression in the x. And so we're going to go ahead and do that. Remember, here's our x. This is what pretty much is going to guide us on what to write on the x when we do our problem. So A and C, 3 and 1. So I'm going to go ahead and put 3 times 1. And then a number divided by A here. Again, A is 3, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay. And then it says B. B in this case is negative 4, so I go ahead and do that. So I'm done with step number 2. Step number 3 says multiply A and C, so I go back to my x. They're telling me to multiply those two. 3 times 1 is 3. Done with step number 3. Going to step number 4, it says find the two factors. Use the t-table. Here we go. We're going to create our t-table. Remember, at the top left, you write this number, which is 3. On the top right, you write your bottom number, which is negative 4. And again, what we're trying to find out is what two numbers give us 3 when we multiply, but negative 4 when we combine or add. So we're going to make our list of combinations. Start off with 1 times 3. Okay. 2 positives give me a positive, but also 2 negatives give me a positive. So I'm using those same numbers with negatives. That gives me positive 3. Anything else gives me 3 besides those? Well, 2 doesn't go in there, and 3 does, but we already have it, so we're done with that. Now, which of these gives us that negative 4 when we add or combine? Let's find out. So we go 1 plus 3. That gives me 4. That doesn't work out because we need a negative 4. And the bottom one, negative 1 minus 4, 3. Negative 1 minus 3, that one does give me that negative 4. That's what we were looking for. This is the combination that gave it to us. So we are done with step number 4, which says find the two factors. Our two factors were negative 1, negative 3. Step 5, replace the two factors in the x. So we're going to go ahead and grab these two numbers for factors and write them right here. 1 on each side, so negative 1 and negative 3. Okay, we are done with step 5. Step 6, simplify your fractions. Which fractions? These fractions here. Can we simplify them? And remember, once we simplify, by the way, we need to leave them as fractions. So let's check our left one here. Can we simplify that? No, it stays the same, so we're done with that section. On this side, can we simplify that? Yes, we can, right? 3 goes into both, so if we were to divide this by 3, what do we end up with? We end up with negative 1 on this side and 1 on that side. So this is the two fractions that we're using pretty much, just so you guys can see. Those are the two, right? So we are done with 6, 7. Write your two binomials. So this is the time we're going to be writing our answer. Now notice we added something here. It says write your two binomials, and it says here include GCF from step 1, right? If any. And again, we'll show you another video where you're going to be including this GCF. In this problem, we don't have a GCF, so we're not going to write it. So now we're going to write our two binomials. So looking at your two fractions here, that's where your two binomials are going to be coming from. Before I write the numbers, remember we have our variable here, right? So right away what we can do is go ahead and add it right away. Right? X times x is going to give me that x squared, so I just include them there now. Looking at this one here, remember your denominator goes first, so we put our 3 there, followed by your numerator, negative 1. On this side, negative 1. Oops, sorry, made a mistake here. Remember, our denominator goes first, that's a 1, followed by our numerator, which is negative 1. Now, this is our answer, but remember, Step 8 is telling us to check our answer because we want to make sure we have the right answer. So how do we check it? We can use the box method, okay? We did this earlier. We're going to go ahead and set it up. 3x and negative 1 go here. 1x and negative 1 goes here. And let's do our multiplication. So 1x times 3x gives me that 3x squared. 1x times negative 1 gives me the negative 1x. Negative 1 times positive 3x gives me negative 3x. Negative 1 times negative 1 gives me the positive 1. Now, we're not done yet. We have to combine like terms. Is there anything we can combine? Yes, there is. Notice that these two have x's, so we can combine these, right? So what do we do now? Write them in order. 3x squared followed by these two. So negative 3x minus 1x, and then finally our positive 1. Since we said we're going to combine those, just so you guys can see it here, we're pretty much going to put those together. So when we finish up, we write 3x squared, negative 3x and negative 1x gives me negative 4x, and finally our positive 1. Notice, this here is the same thing we started off right there. Okay, same thing. Which means that we are correct, and again, this is our answer. We're done.